You're listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
You already know what time it is. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to What the Wrestling. This is your AEW Dynamite review. Listen, I know I'm 2 days late.
You stupid.
But we had the Jay Briscoe episode yesterday, so I figured I'm gonna wait, do some news, and hit you guys today with the Dynamite review. So here we are. So without further ado, let's clap it up for me. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for everybody. Clap it up for yourselves. Clap it up for me. Clap it up for a beautiful day in New York City. So everything is all good. Hit the goddamn like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. What the Wrestling. You see the ticker across the bottom of your screen. Let's not play any games. Now, before anybody ever asks me, please don't ask me if I'm trying to be like Nelly. I scratched my face. That's why I have a Band-Aid there. Don't ask me any stupid questions, okay?
You stupid.
We're not going to do any of the nonsense today. But thank you guys for joining me today. Like I said, beautiful day in New York City. I'm feeling good. Y'all feeling good. Still sucks about the news. Rest in peace to Jay Briscoe. Rough stuff. As far as I know, his Harry, know if it was successful or not, but I think his wife put out a statement saying that everybody that they were in stable condition, but it's going to be a long recovery. Man, just please pray for that woman and her family, because that rough stuff. But we are going to move on now and talk about Dynamite. But before we do, we have more news on Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So let's talk about him. World Wrestling Entertainment's CEO and chairman of the board, who big bullied his way back in, has paid out $14.6 million in hush money to several women who have alleged sexual misconduct between the years of 2006 and 2022. That is why he was asked to step down. Obviously, he said F all back, and here we are. So in an SEC filing, the company said that the $14.6 million was classified as unrecorded expenses and that it will revise previous financial statements to reflect that. This is crazy, but Vince McMahon also he also settled. So in June, the Wall Street first reported that the board was investigating McMahon from an anonymous tip via email that he had paid $3 million in hush money to a money settlement to a employee with whom he had an affair, and then it kept going on and on and on. They ended up finding out that he did it with company funds, which if you're a publicly traded company, that is a big no-no. Can't do that. So this is just crazy. So he just paid out someone again. Hold on, let's just make sure I get the right article. To avoid. Well, okay, Cat, you're in the way. You gotta move, buddy. In the way. Over there. Thank you. Love my kitty, but his ass is always in the way. So he paid out $14.6 million to settle claims so that he would avoid trial. Yikes. So at first we thought it was 3. Then it was 6. Then it was 9. Then it was 12. It's like we're doing a 3 times tables going on. But Vince McMahon has paid out all of these things to avoid the litigation and avoid court. It's a bad look. It's all around bad. And listen, he just recently paid out another woman because she alleged that in a limo, she was sexually assaulted, and now he just paid her out too. So this is just, I don't know how he thought coming back would be good. We all know that he's like, F that, I ain't leaving. He's the Wolf of Wall Street. I ain't fucking leaving. Wolf of Wall Street type stuff. But the fact that he's back and then he paid this girl out, talk about, listen, I just want to avoid a trial and all that. Man, come on, dog. Like, it's all bad right now. So I don't know what will come of this moving forward. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward. I don't know what they plan on doing. All I know is just this is an all-around bad situation, and they need to get a handle on this shit before it gets out of hand, which it seems like it already is. So, so before anyone else comes out of the woodwork, remember, there are things that the board said that they had. Members of the board said they had certain things that the public was not privy to. I wonder what that is. Because it's probably worse. But what I do know is that Lord help him if there's another woman or 2 or 3 that keeps coming out. This is going to go from bad to worse. And he's already being sued for big bullying his way back. If this brother gets another freaking allegation out of nowhere or something way worse than what we had already know about, being the public, man, it might be TKO. Get the fuck out of here! He big bullied his way back, but I'm not so sure that it's going to last. Especially let something else come back and that stock price start to fall. It's going to be a problem. It was never about the sale. If any of you thought it was about a sale, listen. You stupid. I got a bridge in Wyoming I want to sell you, okay? But now that we've got that out the way, let's talk about AEW, which was great. AEW still on the West Coast, still putting out 4 or 5 tremendous shows, one after the other. This was another great show. Let's talk about it. Jay Lethal, Orange Cassidy opened up the show. AEW All and Atlantic Championship. We had Jeff Jarrett's son, Jay sat there ringside talking about they bought their seats fair and square. And this was bad because, we had the best friends out there as well. And this was good. It was fun. We had a spot where Lethal was going up for, I think, the elbow. Orange Cassidy rolled over. He went up to the other turnbuckle. He rolled over. He went up to the other top rope. He rolled over. It was an Orange Cassidy match, but Orange Cassidy's awesome. So let's talk about this. So the end came where it was the blocked orange punch. We had the Lethal injection connect, but Orange rolled out of the ring because he hit the lethal injection, but he just kept rolling out of the ring because he's Orange Cassidy. Ref goes to check on Orange and yells at Sanjay Dutt. Jay tries to get the guitar, but Danhausen took the guitar and was running with it. And back inside the ring, there was a cross-leg victory roll, but Orange Cassidy ends up the kick out, and Orange Cassidy ends up hitting him with the orange punch to retain the All-Atlantic title. Post-match, Jeff Jarrett wanted to El Kabong, but Sanjay Dutt stopped him because if they were to hit anybody, they would have lost their jobs. And Orange Cassidy hit him with some lazy kicks, but Dutt wants to fight, but Lethal and Jarrett were holding him back. We got a video package next for Kushida and Darby Allin. That was the main event. Then we had Top Flight versus Top Flight is there. Top Flight versus the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks commentary playing up the fact that the Young Bucks were in a best-of-7 series. They were beat up. They were tired. And Top Flight, the nice, hungry young kids that are finally healthy, and they beat the Young Bucks. Which was crazy. So we had super kicks, we had dives, but we had a blocked BTE trigger. Darius Martin rolled up, I think, Nick Jackson, and they got the 3 count. Top Flight needed a win. Good to see these brothers on TV and not getting hurt. They also did the backflip off the top rope, double springboard power bomb backflip spot, which was cool, but moonsault spot. But they needed a win badly, and they finally got one. Now, listen, I was shocked.
Surprise, motherfucker.
But I'm glad Top Flight got the win. We need these young brothers on point. Back from commercial break, we had the Ass Boys in the ring. Then we had the Acclaim come out, and they started fighting. And Mr. Billy Gunn, Mr. Daddy Ass himself, said, listen, you boys are entitled. Y'all can kiss my ass. Acclaimed, you guys are tag team champions. Let's start a roundtable discussion next week. That should after a promo. Then we had after a promo by the Ass Boys. Then we had a promo from the Hangman, and he said physically he's fine, but Moxley took something from him in this match, and at least he got it back a little bit in the second match. He took from him his word. I think he said his word, and he got his word back by beating Mr. Mox. Mox said, I think through Renee Young, who was interviewing him, said, I hate you. Mox said he hates him, but he respects the hell out of him, and he despises him for it. Shout out to Mox. Much earned vacation by that brother right there. Then we had Jake Hager versus Absolute Ricky Starks, and this had all the shenanigans you would think. But Ricky Starks wins with a spear. After the match, Starks leaves through the crowd, avoiding getting his ass kicked. And we got a video package of Adam Cole coming back. Boom. After that, Jericho challenges Action Andretti and Ricky Starks to a tag team match with him at Les Spanish Gods, or what was the other one he said? Or Garcia Co. Because Garvara said if Garcia can win, to wear as ring gear. I said it was just for you, man. It was just for you. So all I can say is
Get the fuck out of here!
Love Sammy. King Dragon, Bryan Danielson. This was my favorite match of the night. This wasn't a flippity flip Bandito match. Danielson chops and elbows and kicks and chops and elbows. This was a technical wrestling match by two fantastic technical wrestlers. I knew about Bryan Danielson's technical ability, but I'm not going to lie. I didn't know Bandito had the technical skills like that. Shout out Bandito. Great pickup by AEW. That brother needs to be on TV more, but we say that about a lot of people. See what happens. But they had a great back and forth match. Psycho Knee ends up finishing off Mr. Bandito, but Bandito's awesome. After the match, Mr. MJF cut a promo, says that he hears everything Danielson and the fans are saying about him, how he is not deserving of this spot, but he is the world champion. The fans are fickle because of all the moments that he has provided for them, but people don't understand that this is a mask, man. Yeah, this is a mask. He likes to keep things light and have a little fun. But the closer we get to Revolution, the closer you see that there is darkness under the mask. And he may think he's a dragon, but a dragon is no match for the monster under the mask. Love MJF. Good promo. Yes, please. Yes, please. Then we got a promo package from Toni Storm and Saraya and her Hikaru Shida standing back there. Toni talks about how she's winning tonight, and Saraya wants Shida to stay in the back and the bike. Next, we had Prince Nana and Brian Cage, and MJF went back there, smacked Brian Cage. Brian Cage grabbed him up and said, "Are you crazy?" And he said, "Listen, man, listen. You see that anger? Use it." Next week, pulls out a wad of money, gives it to Prince Nana, and says, there's the man I'm looking for. Now go use it and do your job. And Brian Cage is like, seething and shit. Shout out to Brian Cage, man. I know he gets a lot of shit, but that brother is on point. And MJF, I like the dissension into darkness because MJF he's been doing the chicken shit heel thing. And now he's right. The closer we get to Revolution, got to start ramping up the darkness and disevolving a little bit, get a little bit more serious and showing how far down the rabbit hole you're willing to go. I agree with Mr. Friedman on that. Next, we got Toni Storm versus Willow Nightingale. Love me some Willow Nightingale. Love me some Toni Storm. This was great. Toni Storm gets the win with a schoolboy pin. After the match, Saraya blindsides Willow Nightingale, and they start putting the beats on her ass. But Shida gets up on the apron. Ruby Soho comes to make the save. Shout out to Ruby Soho. Glad to see she's okay after being busted wide open in that crazy ass match on Rampage last week. And listen, I want to shout out the ladies. Stop the show. Ty J, Willow, and Ruby killed it on that match.
Perfect.
Even though there was a miscommunication between Willow and Anna Jay, and she powerbombed her onto the floor. Thank God she's not seriously hurt. I'm sure that had to suck for real. The braids coming out, and everybody did their thing in that match. These four ladies, like when you and Athena, Tony, Jamie Hayter, physical as hell. When these ladies, Sheeta, it's like all Thunder Rosa. Hopefully she gets well soon. All the ladies in the division, they are physical as hell. And that's good. I love to see it. I know Athena caught some flack talking about, hey, the men are physical. Why is it a problem when we get physical and we are a little stiff in there? These ladies are tough women. Shout out to all of them. Just had to say that. Now, we had Bryan Danielson. He's his hero, and he learned so much from him, and he doesn't know, and he doesn't trust MJF. He says some stuff in Japanese, and MJF is still an asshole. Shout out to Takeshita.
Perfect.
Future world champion right there. Then we had the main event, Darby Allin versus Kushida, Mr. Time Splitter himself. Shout out to that brother. This match was really good. I think we could have had, we could have had, they killed it. This match was good. I'm not going to sit here and devalue the match. Kushida, I started seeing in New Japan back in 2014, 2015 when I started catching on to the Young Bucks. I started watching New Japan, and Kushida was over there, Super Juniors, Will Ospreay, Mr. Time Bomb, Hiromu, Takahashi, that brother, fantastic. And Kushida went to NXT. They limited his ceiling. I think Kushida could have did way more in NXT than they gave him. But I don't know. When Vince I think Triple H's NXT, he would have been good. Vince McMahon's NXT, you knew his days were numbered. And it sucks that we didn't get to see Triple H do something with this guy because he was phenomenal. He could go brawler. I remember he had a match where he just came out and he just straight brawled and kicked. I forget who it was in NXT, but he kicked this dude's ass. No technical shit, just he fucked him up. And I think he ended up losing that match. I forget who it was against, but awesome match. Kushida, awesome. Might have been Dream. Might have been Velveteen Dream. It might have been. Anyway, doesn't matter. Darby Allin, we know what he is. He is the face of TNT. And they had themselves a good match. Darby Allin got the pin with the Last Supper. There was an awesome spot where it was supposed to be an off-the-top rope drop kick, and Kushida basically caught him in the hoverboard lock because, you know, Darby's crazy ass just tried to drop kick him, fell, and he got caught in the hoverboard lock on the outside. Kushida is a monster, and I hope that he makes his rounds, and I hope AEW uses him more because Kushida, after that, Darby was reaching for the ropes, and he got hit, counted spine buster, and he hit the Last Supper pin, and it was over. After the match, they shook hands. They talked about it. Darby looked beat up as always. Yeah, he looked beat up. And that was so. Shout out these guys. Everybody did their goddamn thing. Shout out to AEW. SmackDown tonight. It is Friday. So let's see what happens with Mr. Uzi, Sami Zayn himself. We are ramping up for the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is next week, y'all. Next week. I'm hosting in my crib. I got a lot of people coming through. It should be fun. Royal Rumble next week. I cannot wait to have some fun with my people. And there will be lots of beverages involved and good times. Soundbar on 1,000. So with that being said, we got more news for you tomorrow, along with the SmackDown review. Look out for it. As always, I am out of here. Everybody be safe. Clap it up. Enjoy the day. Nice outside. I'm gone. Peace.